Biggest problem with the consultations is that people will call. And when they call, they say, hey, look, I got this problem. And I'm like, okay, well, here's what I would do if I were you right now. And then we'll talk about the rest during the consultation. So I give them something, and they do it. And then we have the consultation, and I give them a lot of something. You know what I'm saying? And I tell them, you need to do this because if you don't do that, that's going to cause you problems. So go ahead and take care of that first. And then about 3 weeks later, they called me back and I said, well, did you do what I told you you should do? Oh, no, I haven't done that because, well, what had happened was, and then after the dog ate my homework, my mother, she had to go to work, and then I had to stay home from school, and I had to write my own doctor's excuse, and the teacher wouldn't accept it. Every excuse in the book as to why they didn't do what they were asked to do. Now, it is their business. They ain't got to do it. But they don't realize that procrastinating intelligence of theirs is what's causing the problem. In the last 2 weeks, I've had 4 people do additional consultations that ain't did the work. Lord, have mercy. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. It is causing a great deal of stress here at 4:39 in the morning. I have two individuals who had child custody issues. I came up with solid arguments for both. I said, but look, you both have well, I didn't say you both. I said, but you have an emergency hearing. You need to get this on the record immediately, so go to the court and file this immediately. Oh, no, I'm still waiting for them to file it. Yeah. And both lost custody of their children because they didn't listen. All they had to do was file the documents. It had nothing to do with how powerful the documents were. It had everything to do with the documents, had all of the information to stop what they were doing. There's another person in the court said, well, we're going to do this and we're going to have a hearing on the 15th. And the other attorney sent it to them by the mail, and they didn't receive the notification until the 13th, which doesn't count. The 14th is a full day. Well, according to the law, she's supposed to have 7 days to respond, not 1 day. So she had to show up in court. She had to take off from work, show up in court on a day where she didn't receive proper notice. And the court act like, oh no, we gonna get on the other side because they know better. And I put in the document, look here, judge, you knew when you scheduled the hearing, you stupid anus, that it had to be mailed to the petitioner. That means you're complacent in this because you know the rules that she's supposed to be given 7 days. Because the judge is trying to remove the stay. You can't remove the stay, ho. First, there's a valid controversy. And second, you can only remove the stay if there's an abuse of process. Doesn't matter if a person has filed bankruptcy before. The dismissal of a previous bankruptcy has to be on the grounds that the person had abused the system. It can't be a simple dismissal. But the rules say dismissal, yes, but Congress explained that it wasn't a dismissal in their intentions. They said abusive use of the system, abusing the bankruptcy process. So it has to be documented as that. They can't just give you a removal of stay, which is why we created the document challenging the opposing party's position by sending back my collateral, you stupid idiot. You see? Now, a lot of you are really waiting until the last moment because I don't want to pay for the consultation. That's too much. And guess what? The amount of energy, the amount of information I'm giving people, no, it ain't too much. The amount of people who saved their property, saved their home, live to fight another day, it ain't too much. I'd rather you keep your property than sit up there, it's too much, and not pay anything and then have to pay later. I can't begin to tell you how they will, it's too much, but then go pay an attorney $1,500. And after they pay the attorney $1,500, nothing gets done. Yeah, the attorney will file the paperwork for you. That's it. But you'll still lose your home. Why? Because he ain't there to try to keep your home. Now, you have those other attorneys, you pay them a certain amount a month. And I mean, a month. It's the same amount as a mortgage payment. And they will keep you in your home. Unlike them, I tell you to do the exact same thing they would do to keep you in your home. And you only pay me once. I'm not trying to cut into their little scheme and game. I'm trying to let you guys know, if you want my assistance through a consult, you'll get it. If you want to have some type of benefit, then follow the instructions. I have another person that I've been helping for 4 years staying at home. And they just got an order from the judge that we're going to remove your stay and we're going to dismiss your bankruptcy. And we're going to block you from filing bankruptcy. And I told him, I said, well, then your mother's going to file. She lives in the same house. She's on the title to the property. So don't worry about that judge. And if they cause a problem, then your sister will file after that. Literally just that simple. And then by the time your sister files, your restriction will be over. And then we're going to appeal that restriction because the judge restricted you based on the fact that one bankruptcy was dismissed because you didn't pay the filing fee, and the other one was dismissed because they said you missed the hearing date. That's not an abuse of the system. That's not a reason to charge you with abusing the system. So that won't stand. That's why we're going to appeal it. And then right after you win that appeal, you're going to file bankruptcy again. And then your sister will file bankruptcy. She doesn't have to file it the second time. We'll put that right in their face and twist it and, pull it back and push it back in and turn it to the side and make sure that eye comes completely out. Okay? That's what we do. This is not a game. This is a plan. So, just thought I'd do a video letting you guys know about these consults, and won't begin to tell you about the ones that are successful, because they contact me and they let me know, oh, no, that worked, and thank you very much. I am so glad that if I called you, blah, blah, blah. And they'll tell me how well it worked out. And then they'll ask another question, and I'll have to do another consult on blah, blah, blah. But I just want to let you know everything worked out. I don't talk about those enough. Why? Because the other ones overshadow them. Because they cause so much stress, dude. Okay, I got to let y'all go because it's 4:45 in the morning. And I got to get some rest because I was having one of those days. Oh, no. I got plenty of rest. I went to sleep at, 9:30? So I was going to get the rest of my rest. I was not tired right now, but I need to get some rest. So y'all have a good day. All right? Arrivederci.